Hi, this is Kim Beeman. Welcome to my Digging Deeper. My goal for this project was to discover, learn how to use, and implement an educational website or software that would reinforce my students' learning in the classroom. So my hope is to use it in centers, and also I was thrilled to find out that this one has a home connection. So I was searching specifically for a program that related to letters and pre-reading skills and alphabet phonics, and I was thrilled because abcmouse.com has so much more. It touches all the subject areas. It touches language and reading. It touches math. It does science. It touches on health, social studies. Really, all the subject areas are included in this program, which is a huge bonus. So let me tell you a little bit about it as what a student would experience. So I'm logged in currently as a student. I set myself up so that I could experiment a little bit with some of these activities. Each student is able to have their own learning path that progresses them through a series of activities. The activities usually have a little stint of about 5 or 6 that are all related to one topic, such as the letter A, and then it moves on to a math, and maybe the next 5 or 6 activities are all related to circles or whatever is specific for them. So let me give you a little guide on a learning path here. Here I am. This first little path here has been on the letter A, and as you can see, there's puzzles, there's little chants and stories and rhymes. When the student gets to the present, after that, that's when it'll kind of change topics. As you can see, this is only 1%. There are so many activities on this level that they complete before they move on to the next one. Let me go back to home here. So the students have specific activities for them on the learning path, but they also are able to go to the classroom. And in the classroom, right in the center, you can tell that the student is in level 3. Oops, didn't mean to click on that one, sorry. That'll take you to their path. But then the student themselves are able to go around the room and select the type of activity if they just want a free playtime. So they can choose music, they can choose something about a certain letter, they can go to the aquarium. As they go around, everything they click on kind of gives them an option of what activity they want to do. They can self-select their learning here. They can also self-select their learning down at the zoo, going on the map, at the farm, featured activities, what's new, various things. But this part right here, my lessons, when they click on my lessons, then those are teacher initiated activities. So I can assign activities that I want my student to work on. So I'm going to, also every student has their own About Me page where they're able to go and see how many tickets they've earned. They're able to go to the pet park and buy a pet and accessories for their pet or their hamster or their room or their aquarium and do activities about that and spend their tickets. It's a very interactive, fun way for them to do it. They can also go to my stats and view how many different types of activities they've done. They can save their coloring and their drawing and their successes or their certificates in my files. Go to my favorite, and here's another way they can access my lessons. So I'm going to show you, this program has so many great things. It's a lot of fun for the kids, but as a teacher, it is really easy to track and really easy to taper it for each child. So let me show you what it's like for the teacher setting. Alright, so I've switched over to the logged in as the teacher. I'm going to come over here to the teacher setting, and here is the teacher dashboard with tons of resources and ways to track students' work. So over here you can see how many students that I have. I actually have 10 students in my class, but I've put myself as one of them so that I could investigate the program a little bit. So you can see how many students I have at each level. And to be honest with you, part of this, I've done a bunch of the activities. I may have to change and adapt that as I see that some activities are too easy for certain students, then I can easily go in and change their level and change their activities in their path. I went to Class Builder and I built my class by putting the names of my students in. I assigned them different levels. I then put them into groups. So now when I want to assign a homework activity to level 1, I can just select that whole group as a group instead of doing it individually as students. I then, to assign a lesson, I can go to the lesson library. Oh, sorry, not the lesson library. I want to go to lesson builder. And it actually takes a moment to load, so I'm going to pause this. Here we are. So I am able to create a lesson for a student or for a group of students. Now I can create something and choose activities individually myself, but they have a great resource library. So let's say that I want to choose, create a lesson for level 3, reading letter A. Okay, so that's what I'm going to save it as and title it. I'm going to actually look through their library and select one from here. So let's go reading letter A. And here, as you can see, they have a bunch of activities to choose from. Now, not all of them are about letter A, but they're in that general category. So as you can see right here, we have reading letter A, level 3. So if I select that one, we'll save and next. Let's keep that name. All right, then up here, you can actually see which activities are in this lesson. And like, yes, I like those ones. Let's do those ones. Now, as you're looking at it, you can also look and say, oh, okay, there's 2 kind of coloring activities. I know the student that that's not their favorite. I can click the X and remove that. Or if I say, there's a lot of songs, I know they already know that song, I can exit and get rid of it. Or if I know that they have difficulty with the puzzles, I can say, oh, let's click on that and get rid of that. And anyways, they have 10 activities to complete now. Save and move on to the next. And here are all the activities. I can click on them and review them and practice them, or I can still choose to remove them. I can also shift them around and decide what order I want the student to. This one's the game. Let's put the game at the end. Here's a puzzle. The student loves puzzles. Let's motivate them by putting it as number 3. I can shift it around. And then when I have it as I like it, I can save it and then say, okay, I'm going to assign this to an individual student. I'm going to assign it to Kim and save. And then that student will receive that in their My Lessons, and they can access those lessons and those 10 activities at home or at school. I can also assign it to a whole group, to all the level 3s. I am not doing this for multiple classes, but you could choose to do it for that as well. Actually, I'm going to go back. After students have been completing activities, and I have not launched this yet, this is going to be launched next week, the teacher can go to Progress Tracker and they can view the students' progress. So they can go and view how many times, how often the student has been on the program. Let's go to Esther for a second here. They can see how many times they are on the site. She obviously hasn't started yet. They can see what her assigned activities are. I've actually already assigned my students their activities. So here Esther has letter B, letter A, she has circles, she has squares, she has triangles. I can adjust the order that they're given these in so that they know that they go in order. I can also, if I come up to my name, because I've experimented a little bit, you can see how many activities that I have completed. You can see the learning objectives, which ones I have done based on which learning I can go and see what their learning path is and how far they've progressed through their learning path, with which activities that they have done and which are still to be done. Yeah, there's just a lot of options on here for teachers to be able to track the students and see how much and how engaged they are in learning, both in the class and at home. Being as this is a center, it might be, sometimes I might assign it, but sometimes it might just be one of those free choice items. And so this is a good gauge as to see how engaged the students are in continuing to practice using ABC Mouse. So our school has not had a program like this that they've used for kindergarten before. This is a new initiative for us. What I loved about this one is that our school does do certain computer educational programs within the classroom, but we don't do any currently that have that home connection piece. And with this one, I'm able to go and invite parents, and invite families to be able to connect with it at home. So when I do that, I can simply go and send my parents, type in their email addresses and send them an email, or I can print them. To be honest with you, I am going to send them a personalized email because I've adapted. This one sends an automatic letter with a login, and I have gotten those logins, and I'm going to send them a personalized letter to include more information about how we're going to use it in the classroom, specifically related to us. So I have that letter to send to them directly. So I'm not going to do this, but it would be very easy to do on this website. Also, from the family engagement piece, I can send them reports. I can send them videos of how that they how learning and these activities are benefiting their students, a little training piece for them, which is kind of fun. Well, there you have it. That's my Digging Deeper. This presentation wasn't just a tour through the classroom. It was to show you that this has been a fun project to put together. It was fun to investigate playing all the games to learn what all that the website had to offer and navigating my way through it. And then creating an account and building a class list specific for my class. And then exploring different activities to know which level was best, so that I knew where to place my students at the beginning. And then to build appropriate lessons for each student and assign them so that when they log in for the first time next week, there'll be lots of activities that they will be able to do at home for free right on the get-go. Also, I loaded ABC Mouse app on the iPads at school. And I have a letter ready to be sent out to parents next week to introduce the program and give them logins specific to them so that they can start to use it at home. And then students can begin playing on abcmouse.com, both at home and at school. They'll be having a ball and they'll be learning some key skills at the same time.